have learned that. People in Carthage, people in my neighborhood of East Bryce Hill, and it's, I've heard the term Mexican ATM, which is pretty disgusting, which means I can grab and run. And sometimes it's just a matter of grabbing somebody's purse, a woman's purse, and keeping on going. I know one woman who was pushing a baby carriage with a child in it. She had 2 toddlers with her, and this guy ran by, snatched it off her shoulder so hard she fell in the street. The baby carriage turned over. She couldn't pick the baby up for over a week. She was in so much pain. And fortunately, somebody saw that occur. But armed, aggravated assaults with weapons are also very, very common. And I got called to the scene, relative of somebody back here, who someone tried to carjack. And the police got totally confused because the same guy tried to carjack in 2 different places. And so the guy, the Hispanic guy, grabbed the keys out of the ignition and ran around Warsaw Federal Bank. And the would-be carjacker chased him with a gun. They ran across the street, but then the carjacker pulled out his gun to shoot the man. He was so mad he was going to get those keys, and he slipped on the ice. So he shot, but he missed. And I called the police numerous times that night. I went in, and there was no police report, even though the police had come. And the bank had cameras. So without that kind of intervention, they're not even good numbers. So I think one of the things we need to say to that kind of opportunistic robbery is basta. Yeah, basta. So I'm hoping that you all will begin to see my friends here as individuals, not as people who are kind of all look alike, and maybe they do or they don't speak Spanish, and they're pretty interchangeable. It's kind of the idea. And since we were talking about that kind of violence against immigrants, I have gone to District 3 way too many times with people to make a police report. I did not accompany Jaime here, pero Jaime, puedes dar tu historia. Okay, alto voz.
Muy buenos días para todos. Mi nombre es Jaime, soy de Guatemala.
My name is Jaime, I'm from Guatemala.
A finales del 2019 tuve la oportunidad de ingresar a Estados Unidos.
So, 2019.
Sí,
So he came here in 2019, and he came from, just to interject, he came from part of Guatemala where almost every Hispanic person you see in Carthage or Price Hill came from. It's the same state of San Marcos and pretty much the same area within that Concepcion.
Sí. Después de eso, quisiera comentarles un poquito mi historia por la cual tuve que emigrar de Guatemala a Estados Unidos. Una de las razones fue la pobreza, otra es la falta de empleo, la economía.
He said the reason why he left Guatemala was because of the poverty.
And lack of work.
Sí, por falta de trabajo, por la falta de educación y por también la corrupción, entre muchas otras cosas que me obligaron a salir de mi pueblo para acá. También por mi familia, para darles una vida mejor, para sacarles adelante. Tengo esposa e hijos, por esa razón tuve que emigrar.
He has children, but a better future for his kids.
Ellos están en Guatemala?
Sí, estamos.
So he left his wife and children.
pero igual pues no tan seguros porque hay mucha corrupción mismo de las políticas entre todo lo que es la, ¿cómo se llama? La corrupción, ¿verdad? Por esa razón pues no hay mucha seguridad de mi familia allá.
Excuse me,
Entonces-
he says his family is still in Guatemala,
Come a little closer.
and they're still not safe because of all the corruption that goes on in the gangs.
Sí, creo que solamente.
¿Y qué pasó enfrente del restaurante?
Oh, pues quiero comentarles un poquito sobre eso, ¿verdad? No, empecé a trabajar en un restaurante.
He started working in a restaurant.
Como siempre mi intención es venir a trabajar. Me gusta trabajar, me gusta más que todo echarle ganas al trabajo.
Yes, working.
Y en una ocasión de estos, yo estaba leída al trabajo y cuando ya estaba a punto de entrar al trabajo y pues de casualidad pues me atacaron unos afroamericanos,
He was going
me
to work.
golpearon.
He was going to work, and all of a sudden there was this group of African Americans that attacked him.
Me
Right outside the
golpearon.
restaurant.
Tengo evidencias que sí fue algo grave, pero casi normalmente tuve que hacer un reporte con la policía y
He
de
had to
ahí
do a
pues
police report.
de ahí ya no hice nada, por ciertas razones.
He did a police report, but then he didn't follow up on it.
And, ¿tiene miedo ahora?
Sí,
Are you
realmente
afraid
sí tengo
now?
miedo porque siempre que salgo en la calle o a las tiendas a caminar, a hacer cualquier cosa, ¿verdad? Siempre tengo que estar con ese miedo, siempre al pendiente de viendo por los lados quién viene, porque hay un miedo que si de repente me atacan otra vez.
So he lives with fear. He thinks he's gonna be attacked.
Whenever he's out in the street, he's looking to every side to see if someone is coming. Sí, puede invitar a la doña Rosalba.
Sí, yo también quiero agregar un poquito a lo que pasó con el asalto. Voy a agregar algo también acerca de lo que pasó con el asalto que ocurrió con Jaime, que fue muy duro, porque estos muchachos pues lo atacaron muy fuerte, lo estaban golpeando y no les importó a estos muchachos que a media calle donde cruzan los carros de 2 carriles, ahí estuvieron golpeando a él en ese momento y gracias a la bendición de Dios es que él está aquí contando esta historia, porque sí fue muy duro.
She was a witness to what happened. She said it was really terrible. They got into the middle of the street and they were attacking him. And it's a miracle that he's still here.
It's the middle of Warsaw, which has really a lot of traffic. And it's in one of the 3 worst intersections in all of Price Hill, according to the transportation department. So he was flung out into the traffic by these guys.
Ellos estuvieron por un rato ahí golpeándolo a la mitad de esa calle. Y lo bueno es de que el departamento de policía tiene cámaras ahí enfrente y se pudo tomar esa parte donde a él lo golpearon y ahí se ve cuando lo están atacando a él.
She says that it was, unfortunately there were cameras and they were able to record what happened to him.
Rosalba, tu historia.
Sí, pues mi nombre es Rosalba Arriaga, soy de Guatemala, vine aquí en el año 1992. Fue muy difícil como Jaime lo
She's from
mencionó.
Guatemala. She came in 1992.
Sí.
And
Como Jaime ha mencionado, las razones de venirnos de nuestro país es debido a la pobreza, los bajos salarios y la irresponsabilidad del gobierno allá.
she says the reason why she came is similar to his reasons of corruption, lack of work.
Fue muy difícil para nosotros.
The government doesn't really support.
Fue fue muy duro para nosotros al principio porque no teníamos ni a dónde llegar, no sabíamos a dónde íbamos a llegar, dónde íbamos a dormir, la comida era totalmente diferente.
She said it was difficult because when they arrived, they had no place to eat. They didn't know how things were going, and the food was different.
Lo triste de nosotros de ser, de que nuestra educación es baja también es de que todos no nos venimos preparados como conociendo esta cultura de este país, conociendo el idioma y la falta de documentos, eso hace todo muy difícil.
It's very difficult for somebody that comes in, especially without documents, because they're not, when they leave the country, they're not prepared with their education to find out the customs of the country, so they don't know really what to expect when they arrive, and there's a big surprise.
Los primeros años,
Sí, los
¿qué es
primeros
el
años
trabajo?
trabajamos cortando tomate, cortando bell peppers en el campo en Florida, cortando pepinos, calabaza y muchos vegetales.
The first few years, they work in the farm, cutting vegetables, tomatoes, all kinds of vegetables.
Pero la experiencia es muy dura porque cuando se termina la temporada de trabajo, por decir en Florida se terminó la temporada de cortar pepinos, cortar tomate, tenemos que buscar otro estado donde haya trabajo agrícola, por ejemplo.
She says it's difficult when you work, especially because you have to work by the seasons. So in Florida, they were doing that, and the time came, they had to move to another place where they had the same opportunities for farming. It's not a year-round proposition.
Entonces,
Pero ahora, ¿qué es el trabajo?
pues entonces después, como ya para el año 2000, gracias a Dios tenemos una familia grande aquí y ellos nos apoyaron tremendamente, nos hicieron préstamos de dinero y con esos préstamos logramos tener una tienda de grocery store desde el año 2000 para el 2011. Pudimos trabajar ahí en la grocery store.
She says she was able to get some family support and they came to Cincinnati and they opened up a store where they were able to sell groceries from ¿qué año?
Desde el año 2000 para el 2011.
From the year 2000 to 2011.
Y después, gracias a Dios, tuvimos la gran oportunidad, gracias al apoyo de mi familia, que eran bien fuertes, estando aquí, pudimos edificar un restaurante nosotros mismos, de la nada, creamos un restaurante que está ubicado en Carthage.
She said, thanks to the family and the support of everybody, they were able to open up a restaurant, which they have now, and that is a very successful restaurant. I love it. It's called Validad.
And it's this one in Warsaw, in Price Hill.
Sí, pues gracias al apoyo de la familia y que también el apoyo de mi esposo, que él es una persona muy fuerte y luchadora, hemos salido adelante con el negocio. Ahora tenemos el segundo restaurante en Warsaw y ahí estamos trabajando ahora, donde también Jaime trabaja con nosotros.
So they opened up another restaurant in Warsaw, and she says her husband is very hardworking. I know her husband, and their kids are brilliant. Her kids received 2 scholarships from LULAC, and now they are working and they are really, really successful. That's really, I'm so proud of them because they went to college and now they are working.
Sí,
Te dije de tus hijos que estamos muy orgullosos.
ya, sí. La verdad que sí, pues nos sentimos bendecidos por Dios, pues porque ha valido la pena el esfuerzo que hemos hecho y todo el sacrificio de dejar nuestro país. Y pues nuestros hijos nos han respondido muy bien, estudiando fuertemente, siendo responsables en la escuela.
Being lucky and working the pain and suffering because they had a successful life and they have a good story. The children are very responsible and we're very proud of them.
Gracias.
Tell us about you.
Oh, me. Hola. Soy Lourdes in Spanish.
English. They know you now.
I'm Lourdes Rivera. I am the president of the League of serving the Hispanic community in just a fashion. I always tell everybody, now I work harder and I don't get paid. So I came, I was born in Bolivia, and I came to the United States at the age of 17. Believe it or not, I wanted to become a nun, but the nuns didn't want to take me until I was 18. So anyway, I did not become a nun. I have a son and 2 grandchildren who live in London. I haven't seen them since the pandemic, but I am hoping to go to Spain in May to do this Camino de Santiago de Compostela, which is it's a 500-mile walk, but we're only going to do 100 miles. That's in it.
You're gonna do the English one.
So my hobbies, some of my hobbies include long distance running and tango dance. So as a matter of fact, there's a tango event at Northside tonight. So if anybody wants to go, there's tango in Cincinnati. Thank you.
William.
Hello, my name is William. I was born here, son of 2 immigrants from Guatemala, from their pueblo, San Marcos.
Louder.
I go to school at Roberts in the 7th grade. In the future, I want to work as a businessman, creating new clothes. And one of my hobbies is soccer.
It's more than a hobby. Christian.
Okay, English, right?
Mhm.
I guess I don't get nervous. Wait.
Deep breaths. You can do it.
Hi, my name is Christian Ramirez Gabriel. I am from Guatemala. I'm 18 years old. I came here in 2018. Me and my dad, we came through immigration, and my dad left me here with my siblings. He returned in Guatemala, and that was when I was 15. That was when I was 15 years old. And my siblings kicked me out when I turned 18 years old. My siblings kicked me out for because they didn't want me to go to school, and I wasn't work, and for no for
Why did they beat you up?
for being for being gay, and
Good job.
and now I live with Greg, and I'm so nervous. And I'm a senior at Withrow High School, and I applied for University of Cincinnati, and I've been accepted.
He's applying for a LULAC scholarship, and he's gonna get it.
So we lost Carlos. Carlos, sneak out.
I'm back here.
Oh, you're as far away as you can get, Carlos.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm back here. We want me to read
I
this?
would love you to.
Okay, excuse me. Good morning, everybody. She twisted my arm. Because I'm not good at stand-up reading and doing this where I'm not a people, but I'm going to give it a shot. If I get tongue-tied, it's not my fault, it's hers. My name is Carlos Walker. I'm a native of Cincinnati, but my grandparents migrated north from Georgia during the worst of the Jim Crow violence. As a little boy, I learned about their segregated, ramshackle schools and poverty. They came to our house looking for work and educational opportunities they couldn't get in the South. But their ancestors had no choice about the migrating. they were kidnapped in West Africa and sent in chains to America and sold into slavery. The United States wealth was built on the labor of my enslaved ancestors. As much of today's wealth is being built on the labor of today's immigrants who have come north just as my grandparents did.
So that separates Carlos out. That separates Carlos out, I think, from everyone else in the room, who's either came themselves or their parents or their ancestors came because they were seeking a better life. I think probably Carlos' ancestors left a good life involuntarily. So my family came, I had two ancestors, since I would qualify as an immigrant as well, right? My ancestors, two were on the Mayflower. Some were Welsh Quakers who were invited by William Penn to come settle Gladwin, Bryn Mawr, those areas outside of Philadelphia. Others came with the Ark and the Dove to, they were Catholic, to settle in Maryland, which was nominally, had religious freedom, although it was, the goal was religious freedom for Catholics, which wasn't popular in England then. So my family has pretty deep roots, not here in Ohio, although one ancestor was an officer in the Revolutionary War and was granted land in Ohio in turn for his service because they didn't have any money to pay him, right?
Nancy, you're the immigrant too.
I am? Me? No, I've been here
Yeah.
for 400 years,
So
my
have-
family.
so
What are you
have
talking
been-
about?
You're a byproduct of everything we are.
Really?
Just like us. Yes. Yes.
So what do you mean by that?
You're more immigrant than we.
How can that be? Your father came across the border.
Yeah, but so did your ancestors.
Right.
Right?
Right, that's true, but there wasn't a border then.
No, but there was a lot of trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Uh-huh.
Something to think about there.
So one difference though is, I'm whiter than you are.
I guess that matters. Doesn't it? Does it?
Does to some people.
Hmm.
So, but I'm curious, the color of your skin, and you all would suggest that maybe there's some indigenous blood. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, but a lot of our ancestry was in the same strip that America is on. I mean, my family, all the roots are right there in Central America. You guys came over here.
Yeah, but how did people, I mean, if the cradle of humanity is in Africa, how did your families end up, and that would include Kelly's family, Yanis's family,
Oh
Christian's
man,
family?
there were bridges.
Bridges from
There were
where?
land bridges over there up by Alaska that connected to Russia. Man, it's all there.
So it's like, but that was what, 23,000 years ago? So you're trying to tell me that your family has really been here 2,000 years longer than my
Yeah,
family?
what I'm trying to say is bienvenidos, Nancy's
Oh.
ancestry. Welcome. Welcome, inmigrante. Feel welcome. Feel welcome, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
So the one thing that I want you all to take away, because I never want people to just leave, oh, that was stupid, or that was interesting. I spent too much time looking through 3 days of clerk of court cases next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for people who were stopped driving without a license, okay? In 13 states and Washington, D.C., undocumented immigrants can get some form of driver's license. You can hate immigrants. You could wish they were all deported and that the wall were a mile high, but you want to be safe on the road. So if somebody cannot get a driver's license in the state of Ohio, they may not bother to study the laws. They may not know that they're actually available in Spanish at the BMV. And so the one thing that we as citizens can do is talk about the importance, talk to your legislators, talk to the judges. And if you want to know, Ohio Justice and Policy Center did a very interesting study on the cost, the hourly cost of a criminal case.
You were supposed to start 5 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of here. Call for driver's licenses, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, sorry.
Thank you, Fran.
Muy bien hecho.
Okay.